To know the world, you must first know yourself.
We begin our journey into the heart of unshakable self-confidence, not with outward declarations or bold actions, but with a quiet, courageous, and often neglected first step, the journey inward. For the first forgotten law upon which all true confidence is built is the law of self-knowledge. Most people mistake arrogance or bravado for confidence, but that is a hollow and brittle substitute. True, deep, unshakable self-confidence is not built on self-deception, but on a foundation of ruthless honesty with oneself. It is the confidence of a master builder who, before erecting a great skyscraper, first studies the ground upon which it will stand. He must know its strengths, its weaknesses, its composition, and its limits. You must become the master builder of your own character. This requires a fearless self-analysis. You must take inventory of your strengths and acknowledge them without vanity. But more importantly, you must have the courage to look your weaknesses squarely in the eye without flinching. Identify the fears, the doubts, the habits of thought that have held you back. This is not an act of self-criticism, it is an act of strategic intelligence. You cannot conquer an enemy you do not know. By identifying your weaknesses, you take away their power. You bring them from the dark corners of your subconscious into the light of your conscious mind, where they can be understood and systematically eliminated. Take out a sheet of paper. On one side, list every strength, every talent, every past victory, no matter how small. This is the inventory of your assets. On the other side, list every fear, every doubt, every limiting belief that occupies your mind. This is the inventory of your liabilities. This simple act of honest accounting is the beginning of all wisdom and all personal power. For you cannot be confident in a self that you do not truly know. This is the bedrock. From here, we can begin to build.
A ship with no destination cannot sail with confidence.
Once you have an honest inventory of yourself, the second law comes into play, providing direction to your newfound self-awareness. This is the law of definite purpose. No person can move through life with confidence if they do not know where they are going. A person with no definite purpose is like a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of every changing wind of circumstance and every shifting tide of other people's opinions. They are easily swayed, easily discouraged, because they have no inner compass, no clear destination by which to judge their course. A person with a definite major purpose, on the other hand, develops a natural and undeniable aura of confidence. Their decisions are easier because they are all measured against one simple question: does this take me closer to my goal? Their energy is not scattered, it is focused like a laser beam. This definiteness of purpose creates a form of mental magnetism. It organizes the faculties of your own mind and attracts to you the people and circumstances necessary for the attainment of your goal. The world has a habit of stepping aside for the man or woman who knows where they are going. This is not a mystery, it is a law. A clear purpose eliminates at least half of the fears that plague the average person. The fear of criticism diminishes, for you are too focused on your own path to worry about the opinions of those on the sidelines. The fear of temporary defeat lessens because you see it not as failure, but as a necessary detour on your way to a definite destination. True self-confidence, therefore, is not a vague feeling. It is the quiet certainty that comes from having a clear, burning, all-consuming purpose that guides your every action.
You are the master gardener of your subconscious mind.
Knowing yourself and knowing your destination are the first two steps. But how do you bridge the gap between the person you are today and the confident, successful person you are resolved to become? The third forgotten law provides the tool. This is the law of autosuggestion. This is the principle through which you can consciously program your own subconscious mind, which is the very seat of your habits, your beliefs, and your self-image. Your subconscious mind is a fertile garden. For years, you have allowed stray seeds of fear, doubt, and the negative suggestions of others to be planted there, and they have grown into a garden of weeds. Now, you will become the master gardener. You will consciously choose the seeds you wish to plant. Autosuggestion is the process of feeding your subconscious mind with thoughts of the person you are determined to become, until the subconscious accepts these new thoughts as reality and begins to act upon them. Here is the formula. First, create a clear, written statement that describes the confident person you are becoming as if it were already a fact. For example, I am a person of unshakable self-confidence. I trust my own judgment. I face every challenge with courage and poise, for I am guided by a definite purpose and I possess all the ability I need to succeed. Second, read this statement aloud every morning and every night, and as you do, you must generate the feeling of being this person. You must feel the confidence. You must see yourself acting with this newfound power. Emotion is the fertilizer that makes the seed grow. This is not a hollow ritual. It is a scientific process of re-educating your subconscious mind. With every repetition, you are building new neural pathways in your brain. You are replacing the old blueprint of doubt with a new blueprint of confidence. This is the X factor of personal transformation, the ability to become the master of your own inner world.
Confidence is the quiet assurance that comes from proven ability.
The inner work of autosuggestion is powerful, but to create lasting, real-world confidence, it must be supported by the fourth law, the law of specialized knowledge. A man cannot be truly confident in his ability to do a thing if he knows very little about it. You cannot build a skyscraper of confidence on a foundation of ignorance. Imagined confidence, based only on affirmations without substance, is brittle and will shatter at the first real test. True, unshakable self-confidence is the quiet assurance that comes from proven ability. It is rooted in competence. Therefore, one of the most direct paths to developing self-confidence in any field is to become an absolute master of that field. Choose your definite purpose and then make it your business to learn everything there is to know about it. Dedicate yourself to the principle of continuous learning. Read the books, take the courses, seek out mentors, and most importantly, apply what you learn. The more you know, the less you will fear. Knowledge is a powerful antidote to the fear of criticism, for you will be secure in your own understanding. It is an antidote to the fear of failure, for you will know how to navigate the challenges of your chosen field. The man who knows, and who knows that he knows, carries with him a quiet power that is unmistakable. His confidence is not loud or arrogant. It is a calm, deep certainty that emanates from him. Do not mistake a general education for specialized knowledge. A generalist may know a little about a great many things, but the person of power is the one who has taken the time and discipline to master a specific, useful craft or profession. When you possess specialized knowledge, your self-confidence is no longer a hopeful wish. It becomes a logical fact.
Action is the cure for fear and the birthplace of confidence.
You now have a clear purpose and a plan to acquire the specialized knowledge to achieve it. But knowledge without action is a dead thing. This brings us to the fifth law, a law that breathes life into all the others, the law of initiative and action. You cannot wait for confidence to arrive before you take action. Confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is the result of action. Fear and doubt cannot survive in the presence of continuous, purposeful action. Action is the great cure-all for the disease of indecision and procrastination. The moment you begin to move, the moment you take that first, small, physical step toward your goal, the ghosts of fear begin to recede. Why? Because you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. The debate is over. We are moving now. Your mind can only hold one dominant emotion at a time. It cannot be filled with both the positive, forward-moving emotion of action and the negative, paralyzing emotion of fear simultaneously. You must choose which one will dominate. By taking the initiative, you are deliberately choosing action over fear. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait until you have all the answers. The person who waits for all the lights to be green before they leave the house will never begin their journey. The great secret is to take the first step, however small. Make the phone call. Write the first page. Send the email. This first act of initiative is like the first turn of a great flywheel. It is the hardest, but once it is in motion, it begins to build its own momentum. Every subsequent action becomes easier. Confidence is a muscle. It is built through the repetition of courageous acts. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. This is the law. Take the initiative. Act now. And you will find that the confidence you seek was waiting for you on the other side of your first step.
Your imagination is the workshop where your reality is designed.
We now come to the faculty that is the true workshop of the soul, the place where all plans are created. The sixth forgotten law is the law of controlled imagination. Your imagination can be your greatest ally or your most treacherous enemy. The average person allows their imagination to run wild, dominated by the ghost of fear. They use this powerful creative faculty to vividly picture every possible thing that could go wrong. They rehearse failure in their minds over and over, and then wonder why their reality is filled with it. The master of self-confidence, however, does the opposite. He seizes control of his imagination and deliberately puts it to work for a definite purpose. He understands that the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and an experience that is vividly imagined. And so, he uses his imagination to create a detailed, emotional, and compelling picture of his success before it has even occurred. He mentally rehearses his victories. He sees himself overcoming obstacles with grace and poise. He feels the feeling of accomplishment. He uses his imagination not as a playground for fear, but as a design studio, an architect's table where the blueprint of his desired reality is drawn and perfected. This is not childish fantasy. It is the work of a creator. All great achievements in history, from the building of the pyramids to the landing on the moon, first existed as a clear, sustained picture in the imagination of their creator. Your task is to take control of this divine faculty. When you find your imagination drifting towards worry or doubt, consciously seize it and redirect it to the image of your definite purpose fulfilled. Create a clear mental movie of your success and play it in your mind repeatedly, especially before sleep. By doing so, you are impressing this image directly upon your subconscious mind, making its physical manifestation all the more certain. Control your imagination, and you will control your world.
Confidence is contagious. Choose your company wisely.
The inner work of building self-confidence is paramount, but its growth can be accelerated or retarded by the mental environment in which you place yourself. This brings us to the seventh powerful law, the law of the mastermind. This law states that you will absorb and become a part of the dominant thoughts of those with whom you associate most closely. Confidence is contagious. So is a lack of it. If you surround yourself with people who are filled with fear, doubt, and indecision, their negative vibrations will inevitably seep into your own consciousness, no matter how strong your personal resolve may be. They will act as a drag anchor on your ambition. Conversely, if you deliberately place yourself in the association of confident, positive, and successful people, you will automatically absorb their traits. Their confidence will reinforce your own. Their courage will inspire you. Their positive mental attitude will lift you up. A mastermind alliance, a group of individuals harmoniously working toward a definite purpose, is the most powerful environment for cultivating unshakable self-confidence. It acts as a hall of mirrors, reflecting back to you the image of the successful person you are determined to become. In your alliance, you speak only the language of strength and success. Your allies see your potential and believe in your purpose, which makes it easier for you to believe in yourself. Therefore, you must conduct a fearless inventory of your associations. Who are the people who nourish your confidence and who are the ones who drain it? You must have the courage to gradually distance yourself from the confidence vampires in your life and deliberately seek the association of those who are already living the kind of life you wish to live. This is not an act of arrogance, it is an act of profound self-preservation and a crucial step in the formula of success.
Within every adversity is the seed of an equal or greater benefit.
No matter how well laid your plans, no matter how strong your confidence, the journey of life will inevitably present you with challenges and what most people call failure. But the person of unshakable confidence understands the 8th law, the law of overcoming defeat. They understand that there is no such thing as failure. There is only temporary defeat. And more than that, they understand a profound secret, that within every adversity, within every heartbreak, within every apparent failure, there lies the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The average person is crushed by defeat. They interpret it as a sign that they are not worthy, that their plan was flawed, that they should quit. The person of confidence, however, has trained their mind to look for the seed of benefit. When a door closes, they do not stand staring at it in regret. They immediately begin searching for the other, larger door that is now opened. This is a learned skill. It is a mental habit. You must train yourself when faced with a setback to immediately ask, what is the lesson here? What is the seed of benefit that this experience has brought me? How can I use this as a stepping stone to a greater success? This reframing of adversity is one of the ultimate expressions of the X of mentality. True, lasting self-confidence is not the belief that you will never fall down. It is the unshakable knowing that if you do fall down, you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to get back up, stronger and better prepared than before. It is a confidence forged not in constant victory, but in the fires of adversity. When you learn to see defeat not as an enemy, but as a stern but valuable teacher, you become truly invincible.
Your self-worth is not determined by the opinions of others.
We have discussed the importance of controlling your thoughts, but the 9th law brings us to a higher level of mental mastery. This is the law of accurate thinking. This is the ability to separate facts from fiction, but most importantly, to separate facts from the mere opinions of others. The person who lacks self-confidence allows their self-image to be shaped and molded by the fleeting opinions, criticisms, and praises of the people around them. Their sense of self-worth rises and falls with the tide of external validation. This is a life of emotional bondage. The person of unshakable confidence, however, has built their self-worth upon a foundation of their own making. Accurate thinking demands that you understand this truth. The opinions of other people are just that, opinions. They are the most abundant and least valuable of all commodities on earth. You must learn to filter all opinions, including your own negative ones, through the lens of reason. Ask yourself, is this opinion based on fact or on prejudice, envy, or ignorance? Furthermore, you must learn to separate the event from the emotion. A business deal may fail, that is a fact, but the feeling of being a failure, that is an opinion, an emotional interpretation that you have the power to accept or reject. The accurate thinker accepts the fact of the temporary defeat, learns from it, and discards the debilitating emotion attached to it. By practicing accurate thinking, you ground your confidence in something real and untouchable, your own character, your purpose, your abilities, and your relationship with infinite intelligence. Your self-worth is no longer up for public debate. It becomes an established fact in your own mind, and once it is established there, the opinions of the entire world cannot shake it. This journey towards mental clarity is a commitment. If you are ready to build a mind that is guided by fact and faith, not by fear and the opinions of others, then make a public commitment. Go to the comments and declare, "My mind is my own."
The highest confidence is found in service, not in self.
We now arrive at the final and perhaps most paradoxical of the 10 forgotten laws of self-confidence. We have spent this entire journey focused on building the self. But the 10th law teaches us that the highest, most unshakable form of confidence is found when you finally learn to forget the self. This is the law of service. A person who is constantly focused on their own fears, their own needs, and their own desire for recognition will always be plagued by a certain degree of insecurity. Their confidence is self-conscious. But when you shift your dominant focus from what can I get to what can I give, a profound transformation occurs. When your definite major purpose is one of rendering useful service to others, of making the world a better place in your own unique way, your personal fears begin to shrink in significance. When your mission is big enough, your personal anxieties become small. The fear of criticism fades when you are driven by a burning desire to help others. The fear of poverty becomes secondary when your primary aim is to create value for the world. The fear of failure is replaced by the desire to learn and improve so that you may serve more effectively. This is the confidence of the great leaders, the great humanitarians, the great artists. Their focus was not on themselves, but on their work, on their mission, on their contribution to humanity. And in this act of selfless service, they found a power, a purpose, and a confidence that was truly divine. The highest confidence is not found by looking in the mirror, but by looking out at the world and asking, how can I help? This is the ultimate X factor. It is the understanding that by losing yourself in service to a purpose greater than yourself, you find your most powerful, most confident, and most authentic self. The formula is complete. The laws have been revealed. The path is clear. It is a path of self-knowledge, self-mastery, and ultimately self-transcendence through service. This is the foundation upon which a truly unshakable life is built.
Activate the X within you.